You are so busy, it's nonstop. And so nonstop that you did take your first Red Bull recently.
I was trying to see what the experience was like and didn't do a thing actually.
It didn't.
It's not like Street King.
Street King, I think is better.
I'm just amazed at how you keep up the energy because your lifestyles are nonstop. We're going to get to your book in just a bit, but you've been so busy with this documentary. How did the pitch go when you were approaching your father?
There was none. I just sort of told him that I was going to do it. And I didn't even fully know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to reconcile this impression the world has of my dad with mine. And I just started rolling tape kind of on him. And you know, one thing I will say, complimenting my dad, which I very rarely do, if you've seen the movie,
yeah,
is he's very comfortable with who he is. He just kind of does his thing. And you know, there's some moments of frustration for him in the film, but in general, he was pretty cool with just letting me roll.
So I'm assuming you weren't worried about how your son would represent you on camera or within the documentary.
I don't worry, period.
That's a good way to approach life.
I'm gonna cue the rolling of the eyes over here.
So what?
No, it's an emotion or experience that I don't know.
That's something we could all learn more about. Because worry creates a lot of drama or friction in our
Worry
lives.
is a bad use of imagination. A good use of imagination is creativity. So you have to choose which one.
That is a beautiful thing. What did you learn about your relationship and about your father in the making of this?
Yeah, I think my father, and he would, I think, admit this, is he's largely the product of his audience. And I think right now people are searching for answers and not necessarily finding them in their church or their synagogue or whatever. So I think my father and other people as well have started to become that icon or that symbol of that search. And it's an interesting time, you know, we live in right now. And my father is a great object of people's need to believe in something. But I say that with affection and respect, both for him and his audience. I mean, to me, it's been fascinating to sort of document this, but also the process of what I've learned through it.
Yeah, did you learn anything about yourself?
No.
No? Are you constantly
The movie
learning?
wasn't about me, it was about him.
Well, it was,
He
that's
was
where the role
He was decoding Deepak in order to understand who Gotham was.
But then in seeing yourself on camera and seeing how he captured you through the lens, what did you learn about yourself?
That I needed to lose some weight. And I've done that.
The camera adds 10 pounds.
Yes.
You know, they say that. I guess, you know, I'm surprised in having, we've known each other for a few months, how connected you are and how at peace you are. That a lot of people think you need to disconnect to be at peace, but you're constantly tweeting. You're very part of the technological world right now. You have your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I actually, and this I'm really serious about. I think that cyberspace is our neural network for rewiring the global brain. And so I'm trying to contribute my little bit so we can have a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthy, happier world. And so if I'm restless about anything, it's about creating that critical mass. 100 million people who say, let's get on with it. Let's be the change we want to see in the world.
I guess, what do you think people are most surprised of when they see you in this light?
Well, they don't realize that we, at least when in our relationship, and even in general, we don't have a social mask. We are natural, we're simple. We have paradox, ambiguity, contradiction, humor, lightness, and we don't take ourselves seriously.
All right, well, we have Mastin Kipp from the Daily Love in our chat room. So, Mastin, what does everyone want to ask?
Thanks, Shira, and thank you so much real quick to Goodreads for coming up with these amazing questions. So, on Twitter, @AliCB asks, what is one thing you do every day, Deepak, to make a positive change in your life?
I meditate every day in the morning, and I start my day by asking myself, who am I? What do I want? What's my purpose? And then after that, I go with the flow.
That's a good thing. Next question.
Awesome. So @Havana Mama says, what is one thing that we can do to make ourselves happier when things are not going so well?
Trust that if you knew the larger picture, everything is okay. When things don't seem to go our way, we should let go of our idea of how they should be, trusting that The universe in its conspiracy of improbabilities is giving us the best possible outcome.
A lot of people go to your dad for advice. Do you go to him for advice?
You did.
Yeah, I used to. I have a very close relationship with my dad. I mean, we talk countless times a day. We're working together on a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You mentioned. So, yeah, I mean, I do in general, but I think, part of, I think what my dad does is he kind of reminds you of stuff you already know. That's kind of been his secret, how to trust your own intuition.
Which we all have that. Now you have a new book, God, Story of Revelation, and we're going to be giving this out to anyone in the comment, the best comment for this video. Answer this question, what inspires you? And that #1 comment will get an autographed version of this book. So go do it. Now tell me a bit more about this book. Of the many things you're doing, including this documentary, you also have a new book out.
Yeah, well, as human beings, we all have always had questions like, who are we? Where did we come from? Is there meaning and purpose in life? Do we have a soul? What is the meaning of death? Does God exist? Etc. So I tracked the history of revelation from the time of Job in the Old Testament through Socrates and Plato and St. Paul and Rumi and Shankara and Julian of Norwich and Annie Hutchinson, right to the time of Einstein and Tagore. Same questions, but different answers.
So would you consider this a fictional or non-fiction book, or a mixture of both?
It's actually what is called historical fiction. So the facts are all true, but the dialogue and the story is a little bit, made lively through fiction.
You've written 65 books.
66.
This is the 66.
Yes.
All right, so how do you keep doing it? How do you keep up? I know you write on them on your BlackBerry. I mean, how does a human do this?
My attitude is that they're being downloaded, they're coming from somewhere, and I'll stop when they stop coming to me.
And when do you know when it's a good enough idea for a book versus maybe a blog post or a tweet?
I have to be obsessed by something in order to write a book. So I'm obsessed by the mystery of our existence right now. I think ultimately we're all God in drag.
Lastly, you have some people that debate what you say in Skeptics. Have you ever, I guess, learned from a skeptic or gone the other way once you talked to someone who questioned you?
Yeah, I have. And in fact, we have now a lot of skeptics that I've debated with on our new YouTube channel.
Okay.
They're our friends.
Okay, and so tell me the one thing, I guess, that changed your mind, or one
From
skeptic.
a skeptic?
Yeah.
I think what changed my mind is skeptics in general that I've met are very sure of themselves, and I decided I'm never going to be sure of myself anymore.
Very nice. And now you can also find out more about you two in the documentary, of course, on the YouTube channel as well, where the Chopra family comes together.
Chopra well, yeah.
The Chopra well. Thanks so much to Deepak and Gotham Chopra.
Thank you.
The book is God, A Story of Revelation, and it's available now. Go to bit.ly/Chopra God to buy it, or let us know what inspires you in the comments below for a chance to win an autographed copy.